Sarah, it's day 5 of the Body Image Advent Challenge and today's topic's girls, so I thought, seeing as I'm a girl, I would give you my little 2p worth. So yeah, I think, because obviously yesterday's topic was guys, and I was thinking about the difference between female and male body image, and I actually don't think there's that much of a difference really at all. I think the main thing that makes it seem like there is a big difference is that girls talk a lot more than guys do. I mean, whenever we've spoken to guys for this sort of challenge, they've been much less happy to kind of open up to us and to get involved, whereas girls are happier to talk, I think, because they do it more often. And I think in some ways, yeah, that's a good thing, because there is a raised awareness of the way that they're feeling and they can identify that. But I think the problem is often so much of these discussions do focus on the negative, negative aspects of their body image, that it almost reinforces that the more and more they say it. So if they're talking about things they hate about themselves, be it that, I don't know, their bum's too big or their hair's crap, they talk about it to such an extent that they actually end up believing it more. It would be very different if they were talking about the thing that they really like about themselves, but unfortunately that doesn't happen a huge amount, I don't think, which is a real shame. And so, yeah, I think the more these flaws are focused on, the more they become an issue for people, the more aware of them they are, the more they notice them, the more they pay attention to them, and the worse they feel about them. And I think this becomes a problem because I don't think body image issues ever really start with the body, to be honest. I think in my experience, from talking to a lot of people and from personal experience, a lot of negative body image issues come from something much deeper, from a low self-esteem. And I think the reason they manifest in this way is because, you can say that you're unhappy with your life, but it's sometimes really hard to measure, whether it's your job or your home life or your relationships. It's very hard to put your finger on exactly why you're feeling the way you are feeling, and equally it's very hard to measure when that gets better. Whereas if you look at your body, it's set out for us very clearly what we should look like, the people that we should be aspiring to replicate in our image and in our, the way that we present ourselves. And it's much easier to measure, well, I've got her hair, I now need to whiten my teeth, I now need to lose X amount of weight. It's much easier to measure, how close you're getting to that ideal. And this is why I think, the work that Natasha Devon does with Gossip School is so important, because it is about enabling people to recognise that it's often not about the way you look at all, it's about something much deeper. And as I say, that's just the way it manifests itself, is appearance-based. And I think, my thoughts, my personal belief that that's the way it works actually comes from experience as well, in terms of I've had a bad body image. Well, I did have a very bad body image for about 5 years, and I was constantly striving to better my body and to, make it more ideal in a sense, but actually probably, well, definitely ended up looking worse than I did when I started. And it completely overtook my life. It completely was just at the forefront of my mind every day, and it was just boring. And I think, it was only when bigger things began to change, I think, that I realised how much it wasn't about the way I looked. So, for example, in the last 8 months, my body hasn't changed. It's pretty much the same size. It's pretty much the same shape, but my body confidence has soared really in comparison to where it has been in the last few years. And as I say, that's not because I've changed physically. It's because I've been doing things that have made me feel really empowered and more confident and very valued in what I'm doing. And as a result, I don't feel the need to, I guess, pick apart every aspect of my body. And yeah, I still have days where I wake up and feel crap about the way I look, but I also have days where I wake up and think, you know what, I look alright, I look good enough. And I also have days where I think, well, ideally this might be a bit different, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. And I guess I feel so pleased that I'm, really beginning to be able to put those things behind me, and it doesn't need to affect the way I view myself in the bigger picture. It doesn't need to affect the way my day's going to go, which is brilliant. And as I think that's come down to two things. One is that, the differences in my life that are bigger than the way I look, the way I feel about myself, my self-esteem. And I think it's also an increased awareness of all the pressures that we are put under, men and women. to look a particular way. And I think it's good to have an awareness of those sorts of things, because, you know, there were days when I would walk around and be distracted by any sort of media image or billboard or even person walking down the street. I think, oh, I need to look like that, I need to look like that. And I can now look at it and go, well, you know what? It would be great to look like that, but, you know, I know that that's been airbrushed, or, you know, I can look at a person and think, well, you know, she is a good foot taller than me, so I will never have that length of legs. I'd look ridiculous if I did. And yeah, it's about not caring, I guess. I spent so long caring about the way I looked and what my body image was, and in reality it's really not that frequent a thought anymore, which is really nice. And it took a lot of overanalyzing everything to get there, but I think it needed me to pay it more attention to be able to kind of put it behind me now. So yeah, I've probably rambled loads, but that's my thoughts on today's topic. So thanks for listening. Bye.